If there's one thing everyone can agree on, it's that taking care of your health is super important, and one great way to do that is by hitting the gym and working out. The thing is, some people, whether it's from lack of knowledge or just poor judgment, ended up having some seriously embarrassing moments in front of everyone. And the worst part, they got filmed and those videos are now immortalized on the internet. That's exactly what you're gonna see right here today. So go ahead, drop a like, hit that subscribe button down below, and let's get into it. The deadlift has caused plenty of cringe moments at the gym over the years, but this one really stood out. In the clip, a woman steps up ready to lift the barbell, and she immediately catches your attention because of what she's wearing. She's got something really tight around her waist, like a corset, or maybe it's a lifting belt for back support. The problem is, it ends up causing more harm than good. When it's time to actually perform the movement, things get complicated fast. She tries to get into position, squats down, adjusts her body, but she just can't reach the bar properly. It genuinely looks like her outfit is restricting her range of motion on top of the natural difficulty of the exercise itself. Keeps trying over and over, looking for some way to get a grip on the bar, but it's just not happening. No reach, no control, and in the end, the bar doesn't even leave the floor. This video went viral for exactly that reason. It's that perfect mix of a genuinely serious attempt and an execution that was clearly never going to work. In the comments, people were more confused than anything else. Some were cracking jokes, others just couldn't figure out what she was even trying to do. Turns out, at the gym, choosing the right equipment and the right outfit makes way more of a difference than you'd think. Early in the morning, just before 6 a.m., a gym in Culver City in the United States went through something truly unbelievable. A 67-year-old retiree named Samuel Kawaz was just starting his workout on the treadmill like any other day, when out of nowhere, a red Mercedes-Benz SUV crashed straight through the gym's glass front wall. The security cameras caught it all, the car plowing in and hitting exactly where he was standing. Samuel gets launched off the treadmill and hits the floor, surrounded by shattered glass. In an interview afterwards, he said he saw the treadmill flying toward him, and by pure instinct, he threw himself to the side to avoid getting hit, and that split-second reaction is exactly what saved his life. The driver got out of the car in her socks, no shoes, looking completely dazed and confused about what had just happened. Witnesses said she didn't even seem to grasp the severity of the situation and actually tried to get back into the vehicle. Somehow, despite the insane scare, Samuel only suffered minor injuries and walked away on his own. In the end, no charges were confirmed against the driver, but that training day will forever be remembered by everyone who witnessed it. This one started out weird and ended even worse. The guy gets ready to do a deadlift, but you can already tell something's off. Instead of gripping the bar with his hands on the outside, he slides his arms underneath and rests everything in the crook of his elbows, a style a lot of people call the Zercher variation. Up to that point, it could actually have a purpose. Some people say that type of movement helps in specific cases like spinal limitations, but the problem wasn't just the technique. He simply forgot to put the collars on the weights. When he goes to lift, the bar tilts from uneven load. Within seconds, the plates start sliding off one side, and at that point, there's not much you can do. It was almost a disaster. The bar shoots in the opposite direction and grazes right past his face. By just a hair, it doesn't hit him dead on. Right after, it crashes to the floor, bouncing around, making that metallic clang that everyone in the gym recognizes instantly. In the comments, some people are defending the exercise while others are saying the whole thing is wrong. But one thing is for sure, it doesn't matter if you're trying to get creative or if you genuinely need to follow a different variation from the standard one. If you skip the basic safety steps, like remembering to put the collars on, the exercise can be really dangerous. Sometimes the smallest details make all the difference. And that's exactly what happened here. This girl is doing a dumbbell exercise, holding the weight between her legs. The movement is pretty straightforward. Squat down, drive up with some momentum, add a little hop, and repeat the whole sequence from the top. Sounds simple enough, right? But on one of the reps, the timing goes just slightly off. As she comes up, the dumbbell travels a little further than it should and ends up hitting a region that is, let's just say, pretty sensitive. There's really no hiding it. That one landed hard. She tries to keep going, but you can clearly tell it hurt. Anyone who's trained knows that kind of hit just freezes you up for a few seconds. There's no complicated technical mistake here, no crazy heavy weight, but the video went viral anyway, all because of that one coordination slip that turned into a seriously rough moment for her. The good news is that kind of pain doesn't last forever. It passes pretty quick. What could have been a really embarrassing moment actually turned into a viral lesson. When this young guy decided to post a video of himself doing bench press at home, he was recording his workouts to track his own progress. But on this particular day, things did not go as planned. First rep, perfect. Smooth movement, totally in control. Second rep though, not so much. His strength just gave out halfway through, and the bars started coming down, getting dangerously close to his neck. The whole scene is pretty scary to watch, but what's really impressive is how calm he stays. Instead of panicking, he holds the bar as best he can and starts thinking his way out of it. Slowly, he starts tilting the weight to one side, trying to get the plates to slide off. It takes a few seconds, but it actually works. The plates drop to the floor, and just like that, he's free. The relief on his face is unmistakable. And honestly, this kind of thing happens more often than people realize. A lot of folks try to lift more than they can handle, whether it's to show off or just out of excitement. And bench pressing without a spotter is genuinely risky. The message here is pretty clear. Take it easy. Sometimes using less weight and being a little more careful is all it takes to keep yourself out of the emergency room. In this clip, the girl in the background is messing with a loaded barbell, probably on a squat rack. Each side had several plates on it, around 8 or so. Instead of removing them gradually and alternating sides, she decided to strip all the weight from just one side. That was her biggest mistake. With all that weight concentrated on one side, the bar completely lost its balance. Within seconds, it turned into an uncontrolled lever. The heavier side slammed down, launching the other end up, and the barbell literally spun through the air, flying right into a guy who had absolutely nothing to do with any of it. He ended up getting hit by the bar as it swung around, but despite the impact, he got lucky. From what we can see, it doesn't look like anything too serious. Still, that's exactly the kind of situation that could have ended way worse. And all of this because of one basic detail that a lot of people just ignore. At the gym, it's not just about lifting heavy, you actually need to understand the fundamentals. In this case, literally the basics of physics. You always have to keep the bar balanced, or scenes like this will keep happening. Because your carelessness doesn't only hurt you, it can hurt the people around you too. The student standing nearby is completely frozen. He clearly can't wrap his head around how someone built like that managed to lift the bar, let alone carry it around like it's nothing. Anatoly even jokes about it, saying the weights must be fake because they felt like absolutely nothing to him. And just to really drive it home, he repeats the whole move again, carrying the bar back to exactly where it was sitting before, finishing up his cleaning like it's the most normal thing in the world. The big guy is just standing there totally lost, but of course, it was all just a really well-planned prank, and honestly, watching the guy's face trying to process what just happened is the best part of the whole thing. Like, his brain just refuses to accept what his eyes are seeing. That's the magic of a prank done right, and Anatoly absolutely nailed it from start to finish here. The student nearby is completely speechless. He clearly can't wrap his head around how someone with that physique just picked up that barbell, let alone carried it with such ease. Anatoly even jokes that the weights must be fake because they felt like nothing to him. And to top it all off, he does it again, putting the bar right back where it was after finishing his little cleaning job, like it's the most normal thing in the world. The buff guy is totally lost, but of course, it was all a perfectly planned prank. Look at how much weight this guy was squatting. It can be dangerous, but he's clearly very experienced. And in this video, he actually demonstrates that knowing how to fail a rep is just as important as knowing how to execute one. The video starts right at the last rep. He goes down nice and controlled, but on the way back up, his legs just give out. The strength is completely gone. With nobody around to help, he has to react fast. Instead of trying to grind through it and make things worse, he lets the weight go. His hands go to the floor, he lifts his hips, creating space on his back for the bar to slide off. And it works. The bar slides backward, and there he is, face down on the gym floor. It's a pretty awkward scene, but it avoided something way more serious. The plates themselves, just because of how big they are, actually help prevent the weight from crushing him. Sure, this whole situation could have been avoided with proper safety equipment or a spotter nearby, but the lesson is clear. Sometimes walking away looking a little silly is a whole lot better than pushing through and putting yourself at real risk. Shortly after, other people came over to check on him. In the end, he walked away uninjured, just with his pride a little bruised. This girl was probably in the comfort of her own home in a private little home gym setup, but she still managed to embarrass herself in front of the whole internet. She set her phone up to record and went for a resistance band exercise, you know, the kind that's really good at catching beginners off guard. And that's exactly what happened here. She leaned back and threw her weight behind it, like she was going for this smooth, controlled movement. But either the strength wasn't there, or maybe the technique was just off. The band snapped her right back and sent her flying straight into the wall. It wasn't a super bad hit, but instead of stopping the video or checking if she was okay, she just gets up and starts doing this little dance move, trying to play it off like that was part of the workout. You know when someone acts like nothing happened? That's exactly what this was. But here's the kicker. She's the one who posted the video afterward, without cutting that part out. The internet, of course, showed no mercy. A lot of people were just completely confused on top of everything else, because honestly, nobody could figure out what exercise she was even trying to do. You know those leg press machines at the gym? Well, this woman decided to use one completely backwards, putting her body weight against the part you're supposed to push with your legs. Yeah, that didn't go well. The thing slipped and smacked her right in the face. Lucky it was padded, but the look on her face is absolutely priceless. What exactly did she think was gonna happen? If she wanted to work her arms or shoulders, there are way better machines for that, like this one right here, which, as you can see, actually has a proper hand grip and everything. Who would have thought, right? That the leg machine is made for legs, and the shoulder machine is made for shoulders. I think you get the point. Seems like nowadays, for some people, if you don't post your workout online, it's like it never even happened. More and more people are filming themselves, or at least snapping photos at the gym. But what a lot of people forget is that these places are public spaces, not a personal photo studio. So anything can happen, like this unexpected little interruption. The girl bent down to set up her phone, stepped back, and started doing her dumbbell reps. You're probably thinking the guy behind her is the one who crashes the shot, right? Nope, not at all. Yeah, there was someone right behind the phone who also wanted to work out, but her head just kept popping into the frame in the funniest way possible. The phone's owner totally notices what's going on and slowly starts losing all her motivation to keep going, since the video got completely ruined. But you know what? Honestly, for me, the video got about 10 times better thanks to Batman's little surprise cameo appearance. These leg curl machines have a way of making people look really silly. This time, the girl was already doing it wrong by lying face down on it. But wait, it gets worse. Notice how she doesn't hook her feet properly into the equipment. Even so, she starts pulling the weight. Or well, she doesn't pull anything, but she tries hard. Her legs end up flying way too high, and you can see what happens next. This is what happens when you don't have the right equipment or a proper trainer. If he'd used that machine correctly, he could have avoided that massive embarrassment. At least he didn't get hurt, right? You know those pull-up bar stations? This one's a bit more modern, like a cable machine with multiple grip options. But it looks like this model came without any height adjustment, or at least our guy had no clue how to lower it. Fine, whatever, life goes on. But not for this dude. He decided to get a running start, crossed all the way to the other side of the gym, and came sprinting like he was some kind of ninja. At the beginning of the jump, he actually looks pretty good. For just a second, it seems like he's floating like a basketball pro, but that doesn't last long. Bro, that's rough. Slipping right in front of everyone at the gym, there's no coming back from that. The embarrassment alone would send me straight to the exit, never to return. Some things just can't be unseen, and his gym buddies definitely saw all of it. That lift, oh boy. The girl walks up to the bar, gets into position, everything looks totally normal. But then when she goes to actually lift the weight, she does the movement completely wrong. The bar ends up hitting a very sensitive area. You can't even tell what she was trying to do exactly. What we do know is that an iron bar like that is definitely not soft. And yeah, it did not go well. She stops the exercise immediately, sets the bar down on the floor, and just lays there, curled up in the fetal position, right there on the gym floor. Doesn't even try to hide what just happened. And that's exactly the most basic gym lesson right there. It's not just about grabbing the bar and going for it. Technique makes all the difference, especially on barbell exercises, because when it goes wrong, you might end up all over the internet with a seriously embarrassing moment on your record. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this.